So much for the touchback. Here he comes. Gets it across the 20 to the 21, and not quite what he would have picked up just taking the touchback. The offense lining up for a first down play. Power football with the run. And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup.
He really shows you his skills on that last run. And I feel like today, if you're a running back at Oregon, you are expected to be explosive. You're not going to be a guy that goes in between the tackles and gains 3 yards, and that's okay. I feel like now today, because of all the great running backs they've had here recently, if you get into the second level, you're expected to go to the house. This guy has that kind of skill.
And offenses want to continue to feature the run. They want balance. Even if it's not super successful, you can take it little bit at a time just to keep that defense honest.
Get it out on the screen. Brought down at the 47-yard line after the 15-yard pickup. The Ducks keeping this defense off balance. They can hit them from a variety of angles, this time going up top.
So many things to look at. You know, they've always traditionally gone fast as well in the past at Oregon, but, you know, the quarterback run and the run up the middle and then play-action pass, they keep you guessing a lot, and they make a lot of plays down the field because your eyes are focused on something they shouldn't be focused on.
The Ducks with the 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Unloads it left. It's caught. Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and it's 1st and goal from the 8.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And, Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at them. Touchdown, Oregon! And they'll put that scoreboard operator to work and put 6 on the board. They're on the board first here in the season opener.
I think a lot of people probably expected to see that, right? They're playing on the road, and you know this is going to be a hostile environment, but they've got the better players, and we've seen that before. There was no hesitation. On the opening drive, they go right down the field, they score a touchdown, and they made a statement.
And the extra point makes it 7-0. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. On the move from inside his 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. They got the big fellas out there. A 3 tight end look on 1st and 10. The give to the lone running back. Stacked up after gaining a couple to the 23.
They're strong and they're strong. Defensive tackles, they're strong. There's such big jokers in the middle where they just lock out those offensive linemen. And running backs, listen, they don't have much of a chance. When you got that 300-plus pound guy grabbing you around the shoulder pad, you tend to go to the ground pretty quickly.
They get him down after he makes the catch.
That's a good job by the drag route there, understanding its zone coverage. So instead of continuing to run across the field, he settles down into an open spot, making it easy for his quarterback.
He's looking to throw. That was almost picked off, and what a disaster that would have been to throw a pick on the opening drive. Instead, it's 4th down. The Horned Frogs will try to pin them back with the punt. They'll have to punt for the first time this afternoon. He gets a block. Coverage team gets the job done, and they'll mark him down at the 38-yard line. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. And, David, how they would love to stick it in the end zone one more time after that last drive.
And once you get the defense on their heels and you back them off a little bit, you get in a little bit of rhythm, it's really hard to stop, Jesse, and they're going to try to do it again right here.
And if you're this play caller, you're loving what's happening right now because everything you dialed up on that last drive ended up working out. You're just looking at your play sheet. Everything you're picking is working. Let's see if they can pull it off again here.
At the 40, there he goes. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a first down. He's up to 57 yards on the ground in this first quarter. That is a terrific start. That chunk play has them in business, set up with a first down in the red zone. It falls incomplete. He was trying to find his man for 6.
No rest for the wicked for this offense. They are taking shots. You just saw a big explosive play on the previous one, and right away they get back to the line of scrimmage, and they throw it in the end zone. They have got this defense on their heels.
He's brought down, but he's got him inside the 10. First and goal from the 8.
Man, that's so frustrating. And it happens so fast. He just pulls it down. It looks like pass. He pulls it down, and he's gone. Just like that, chewing up yards. So much speed, so hard to stop.
They'll keep it on the ground for first and goal. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it stands. That penalty moves the ball back 10 yards. We'll replay the down. And the Ducks will try to punch it in on first and goal. They'll leave it with him. Just trying to power it ahead. They pick up 5. Ball spotted at the 12. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. He'll run it to the right here and try to get it into the end zone. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Ducks!
I think you love starting the year off with some momentum. And that's exactly what this offense is doing. They're firing on all cylinders. Defense doing their job as well. This team getting out the gates to start the season in great fashion.
And he makes the extra point. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. Here he comes from inside his own 5. And the returner goes down. TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
On second down, wants to throw it. Rifles it down the middle. Fires and picked off. He'll try to take it back. And a super return as he takes it all the way down to the 24-yard line.
And that's got to feel good, and that's a play this young man is never going to forget. His first interception of the season. Great job reading the QB's eyes and getting to the football.
And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. There wasn't much need to throw it around on that last drive for the touchdown, Jesse. They got it done running the ball.
And, David, I don't think you have to overthink this thing. If they can't stop you running it, why would you stop handing it off? Just keep at it here on this drive.
Well, and if I'm the defense, I'm making some changes. I'm bringing in more big bodies. I'm playing more aggressive towards the line of scrimmage. I am not going to let them have that kind of drive again.
This defense has been gashed, and they are backed up again with a first and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. And they're finally able to get him on the ground at the 1. The Ducks are in the hurry up. Trying to get in the end zone again. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Oregon! That his 40th career touchdown run.
This guy's had a lot of success throughout his career, but 40 touchdowns is something that's pretty commendable, David. He continues to challenge himself each and every game and every year to get better.
Yeah, just the consistency has been so impressive. The offense is built around him. Like, he's going to get the football, he's going to be featured, and still finds the end zone week after week.
They'll bring it back from inside his 5. And they'll bring him down to get the offense started on the next drive. First play of this drive comes from the 14-yard line. They'll crank up this drive with the pass. It's complete on the right side.
I love early in the game getting my quarterback in the rhythm. Coming out, short passes, easy completions. Now we're getting in a good spot.
Picked up some yardage with that completion, now second down. He's looking to throw. Fires into traffic, it's picked off. And how about that play? Even with the short return, they're in the red zone. They've got it at the 17. This guy's a flat ball hawk. Career pick number 30.
And I just, at this point, I'm like, why are you throwing near him? Like, he's proven this so many times, Palmer, to you, time and time again. If you throw his way, he's going to make you pay, and he does it again.
This is like Deion Sanders stuff, too. I mean, he literally takes one side of the field away. You just can't even think about throwing it out that way. His impact in games has led to so many wins for this football team. Simply can't say enough about it.
After the incompletion, they go back up top. And he can't quite make the connection as he was trying to pay off this red zone opportunity. And guys, they really need to make something happen on this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Dances away from the heat. Lets it fly. Gonna throw it to the right. He's got his man. And he cruises his way to the house. Touchdown, Ducks!
And this offense gets on the board and the first passing touchdown of the season, and I feel pretty confident saying the first of many. This offense looks like they're in a good rhythm, and this passing attack's going to be hard to stop.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown.
Number 12, set to advance on the football.
And he takes this from inside the 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. Maybe they learned something from their opening script of plays, David, but other than that, this has been an abject disaster.
And I think they learned what not to do. I mean, this has been an abject disaster. They haven't done anything right. Offense, defense. Palmer, this one's ugly, and it's still early.
Yeah, I'd normally say, well, it's first quarter, just don't worry about it, there's time, but
Worry.
this is the worst start you possibly could have had. So they need to score a touchdown right here.
Man, what a spectacular play by that defensive end to come up with the tackle there.
And you see those guys get off the football so fast. Most of these guys are 250 to 275 pounds, but they get off the ball fast, low. And the offensive linemen, they have no chance to stop those guys as quick and as fast as they are.
And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up. And the Horned Frogs will line up to punt it away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. He only needs a sliver of daylight. And the returner is stopped. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense.
Get set.
They'll start this drive with a pass. Looking for the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Oregon.
Touchdown.
And I bet this coaching staff is jacked up to get this offense firing so fast early in the season, on point. A lot of times it takes time to build the rhythm. It takes time to get it rolling. This offense starting the season off with a bang.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Boys, if it's happening in college football, we've got eyes on it. Check this out. Rice has the lead right now, but they haven't been able to separate themselves just yet inside this building that hosted Super Bowl 8. They're up by 7 over USF. Just another week of college football where we've come to expect the unexpected. Fellas?
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. And how about that catch and run? So dangerous, this guy. That big pickup on what they call the drag route, but if you hit it on time, you can hit the turbo boosters.
And you've got to be accurate on the throw, too, Reese. Nice job by the QB there, putting it out in front of his receiver to make an easy catch and then advance it.
He's going to pass. Quickly complete. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Oregon 35, TCU 0.
Second down now as they're ready to go back to work. Quarterback changing the plays at the line. He's looking for a man on second down. And the pressure gets to him. Down goes the quarterback.
When you're on defense and you get to play outside linebacker, it's about as good as it gets, right? I get to rush the passer just like this and put him on the ground. Then I get to cover in space. I get to move all over the place. Great job by the outside linebacker. The most fun position to play in college football.
And the pressure is coming in, and they get him again.
That's an interesting call going play action on third and long because the defense is not worried about you handing the football off. That's not freezing anybody, especially these defensive ends. They're going right up the field. You saw that time the pocket collapse as they were able to get to the quarterback.
And the punt team gets down there and gets the return man on the ground. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they've wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect it.
Nothing but green ahead. The 10. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Ducks.
Man, he just makes it look so fun to play quarterback. Like, he's playing his own little game. He just scrambles around, takes off. Nobody can catch him all the way to the house for 6.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And with the extra point, the lead is even bigger. They couldn't draw up a drive better than that one. Just gashed him for the big play in the running game. One snap, one touchdown.
TCU 0.
And here's the return. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. That last drive fizzled out, Jesse. They had to punt it.
Yeah, they did. And, David, they're just going to have to do a better job this time around erasing the mental mistakes.
And just trying to solve the defensive riddle, understanding what they're trying to do to you and attack them.
Got 3 on first down. It's 2nd and 7. Leaves it with the back. Picks his way ahead, pick up of 3, and gets it to the 20-yard line.
And that's what you try to do as a defense. Limit those damages when they run the football. Get them on the ground, short gains to set your defense for positive situations down the road.
So 3rd and short from inside the 20. You convert here, and this drive takes on a different complexion. From the gun, wants to pass. And it's picked off for the 3rd time today. Didn't get much on the return, but what a huge play, and they are in business at the 24. First down here for the offense. The give to the left. Blast his way ahead, but not much room. A pickup of 1 to the 24.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more. But sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
Quick release by the QB. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. And the last thing they need is to squander this great field position facing a 3rd and long. Pre-snap motion in the backfield. Steps away to find some room. Swings it out to the flat. And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the first down. The Ducks in the hurry up. On 4th down, they're taking to the air. Still looking on the move. They bring him down, but not before he gets just enough to move the chains.
He's got such good awareness in the pocket. He does a good job of feeling the rush, and you know it's a pass, and you want to keep your eyes downfield, but he sees an opening, and if he sees an opening, he's got the ability to go get it and get a first down.
Touchdown, Oregon! And they made it to the house when they found that 6 points waiting on him. This dude is revving his engine like that duck coming out on a motorcycle. He is putting up points and finding the promised land.
And it's nice to have a guy that can do that. Goodness gracious, they just keep finding at Oregon as trigger men, not only throw the football, but guys who can pick them up and put them down and make big plays.
Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. After throwing the pick on the last drive, need to take care of the ball this time, Jesse.
We're going to find out a lot about this quarterback.
Another interception. That's his 4th of the day. And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back for its own.
What a game-changing play by this defense. Nice job. You got them backed up in their own territory coming out. Now you force the turnover, set your offense up with some great scoring field position.
Offense getting set for first down. He'll start this drive firing. Snags it. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Ducks! Well, just as you would expect, that didn't take very long.
It didn't, Reese, and you've got to make great field position count. When you've got opportunities, you got to pay it off. And the offense took advantage, scoring a touchdown. Didn't have far to go, but they got the points they needed.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. He'll take the return and try to improve the field position. And the returner will be dragged down.
That's not what you want out of that kick return. If you're that return guy, you've got to make something happen. You've got to be able to make a guy miss. That's why you're back there in the first place, because of your athleticism, but you've got to be able to generate better field position on that kickoff return.
They go to the ground, and they're able to shove him to the turf as they stop him for a short gain.
All right, well, the offense here, they're trying to get this run game established. They obviously don't break off a long run there, but they're just trying to find their footing at this point.
The give to the back. That'll be a beneficial run as he creates some breathing room and gets it up to the 13-yard line.
Offensive linemen love to run the power. Why? You run power. You run power. Then you can play action. You don't want that defense to be sitting there saying, it's a pass, having to pass block every play. You got to keep defenses off balance.
Well, they picked up that first running the football. That's good news for an offensive line that really has been getting pushed around and bullied in this game so far. Let's see what happens moving forward.
Strong run to get it out to the 21-yard line. They pick up a 6.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
Back to the ground with the running back. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Man, and that fires you up as a defense. That gives you some extra juice. When you come in there and knock the living fire out of someone, everybody on the defense gets jacked up.
They'll try the jet sweep to pick up the first down.
Yeah, and the number one thing you want to do with a jet sweep is make that thing bounce, right? Don't let it get outside right now. Make that thing go east-west, not north-south. Great job by the defense being ready for that jet sweep.
He'll field the punt and take it back. That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Quarterback extends the play. Fires on the move. Makes a connection. He'll work his way down to the 28. Really good job when this play went off script, and that's the job of a tight end. Find the soft spot and stay in the quarterback's field of vision.
Yeah, and it's just frustrating to play this kind of style of quarterback. That's always going to extend the play, make it harder on you as a defense. You got to guard longer in the back end, and just did a nice job getting outside the pocket and getting it to the big fella at tight end.
And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. And the Ducks moving quickly to the line.
This QB has had a lot of success all day long, throwing for so many touchdowns, looking very comfortable. Finally, the defense gets to him. Finally, the defense gets a win. They needed something to go their way. Got to start getting some more hits on this guy.
Being started out great on this drive, but then a couple of incompletions, and now it's 3rd and 10. And he's brought down after a nice gain. He's up to 51 yards rushing, and that is quite an impressive first half here in this season opener. Buys a little extra time. It's incomplete. Good job by the defense sticking with its coverage. Second down here, and maybe they've got time to get one more snap off before the 2-minute warning. They'll throw again after the incompletion. He snares it in the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon. They'll try to tack one more on their score. And with that extra point, the lead remains in the gargantuan category. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown.
63, TCU, 0.
On the run from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. Boy, they've been caught in a buzzsaw here in the first half, but maybe a chance to carry some momentum into the break here.
It all comes down to this drive right here, Reese. Obviously, this offense hasn't had everything go right for them in the first half, but here's an opportunity, David, to execute some plays, put some throws together, and generate some points.
And you're right, Jesse, and this offense needs to start now. Like, we got to get some points on the board, create some momentum, and continue it, because you've dug yourself a significant hole.
And as an offense, having success on a run play like that early in the game just opens up all the possibilities of your playbook moving forward. Play action, running the ball, throwing the ball, screens, anything is at your disposal at this point.
They were all over him, nowhere to go as that 3rd down play turned into a disaster. The Horned Frogs decide to punt it away.
On to kick it away.
Wouldn't call it a shank, but I don't think he'll include it on his greatest hits. And the return man reaches the end of the line, and down he goes. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. This has been an impressive first half, and Jesse, they'd love nothing better than to tack another one on before he'll take a shot. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. Wonder if they'll throw it again after the incompletion. 2nd and 10 from the 49. He's looking to throw. Oh, he loves to fire downfield. And it's picked off at the goal line. That's one way to make a stop. He goes out of bounds, but he creates the turnover and a great opportunity for his offense.
And that's such a great job of seeing the play, seeing it unfold, breaking on the football, making the interception, and you will absolutely never forget getting that first career INT, that big play, that big moment.
TCU will send its offense back onto the field. This late in the half, you're behind. You'd love to create something before the break to build momentum, Jesse.
You've also had some miscues on offense, a big part of why you're losing the game right now. I'd take it into halftime, make my adjustments, and come out ready in the second half.
Yeah, I'm going to take it into halftime too, Palmer. But I'm trying to put some points up right here. Be aggressive, set the tone, be like, hey, listen, this is what you're going to get in the second half, so find something really quickly you can go to.
Got 6 on first down. Now a lot of options on 2nd and 4. He'll try it again. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Brings up third down.
This is the type of play that can give the offense momentum. 3rd and short from inside the 20. They'll try the run. And the defense had its hands full, but they finally wrestle him down short of the first down.
Now, fourth down.
And the Horned Frogs send out the punt unit.
On to punt it away.
That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
With the score, Oregon 63, TCU.
The Ducks will line up to kick off and start the second half.
Set to kick it away.
He'll start the return inside his 5. Good job by the coverage unit to stop the return man. TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. Nothing went right in that first half, and the first order of business here. Try not to be embarrassed any further.
But the comeback is possible. Remember 2006, Michigan State down 35 to Northwestern at halftime? They somehow came back and won the game. But it all starts on one play, and that has to happen here on this first drive for the offense.
Yeah, the first possession, because your possessions, you're only going to get so many possessions, and you got to score on every single one of them. Offense, defense, special teams have to play out of their mind, but they have to believe.
The Horned Frogs pick up the first down.
I love when players understand situations, and they understand where the first down marker is, and they understand where I got to get to. A lot of people you'll see run north-south and try to bounce out wide and make big plays. Sometimes it's not about making big plays. Sometimes it's about getting that first down to make sure I get an extra set of downs instead of trying to make those big touchdown runs.
They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
This is one of the best run defenses in the entire country. They pride themselves on being the most physical unit, and you are seeing that in this game, shutting down this running back.
Oh, and they'll try to catch him with a pass, using the quick game. He's brought down, solid pickup, but a little bit short of the first down.
And a really nice job by the wide receiver. You run a drag route, find space. They're in zone coverage. They're not covering man-to-man. Find a little hole. Look at that QB. Y'all get on the same page. You could tell they were, and that's why they got the first down.
He's looking to pass. And they're on him immediately. Down goes the quarterback.
This has been a frustrating day, and I'm not sure it's going to get any better. You're already down huge. Listen, this offense can't protect this quarterback. They don't do anything right now. This defense has had their number all game long.
Returns like that are why you don't settle for the fair catch if you don't have to. Picks up just a little bit of yards to help out the Oaks. The next drive is more productive after throwing a pick last time, Jesse.
Yeah, and the coaches did a good job on the sideline there, just talking to the...
Afterburners coming. And how much running room have they been able to find on the ground? Man, are they piling up some gaudy rushing stats.
Yeah, this offense has had their way with this defense, and they've had a lot of success. And I tell you what, if this defense wants any chance of coming back, they better get physical and stop the run, because right now, this offense is having their way.
He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense.
This is an offense that really sees their identity as being able to run the football. Nice job there picking up the first down.
The Ducks are threatening on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. And they make the tackle, but the official has tossed his flag. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. The offense knocking on the door. 1st and goal. They'll run it from the gun. Got some room headed to the goal line. Touchdown, Ducks! And the pummeling has started.
And everybody's getting in on the fun now for this offense. From the opening whistle, they have been up and down the field. Starters are scoring. You've got backups in the game now. And I love the play calling. These guys came to your school to play in this offense to score touchdowns, so let them go do it. Make this defense prove they can stop you.
On the move from inside is 5. And the coverage team gets the returner on the ground. Here comes the offense on 1st down. The give to the back. Pushes ahead for 2. They'll mark it at the 17.
The run game just has not been working for this offense all game long. You saw it on that last play as well. Just not getting enough push up front on the offensive line. They haven't been physical enough.
Now the quarterback changing the original play call. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage.
Credit to the offense, sticking with the run, but man, it's not working, and this defense is not budging, and we've seen them all season. They've been so dominant. I do think it's going to have to come through the air, and you're going to have to turn your quarterback loose, let him rip the football, because this defense is so stout against the run.
They run the reverse. And Shore tackling there to keep him from getting to the 1st down marker.
And I tell you what, I love the versatility of wide receivers nowadays. You can handle the football in many different ways, but I like this. Get him going full speed in motion. He's already got all that speed built up. Hand him the football. He can chew up 5 yards in a hurry, get you those critical yards you need to put you in better situations.
And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. Wide out in motion. Touch pass on the jet sweep. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
I love that play call, and I love the timing of the pre-snap motion. Because the quarterback was able to get it to the receiver right behind the offensive line, because of the timing, he was able to outflank the defense. That puts him out in space where he's able to use his speed. Nice job with the pre-snap motion and timing.
Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, and this defense hadn't had a lot of success. This offense has been doing what it wants at will. Finally getting to the QB, finally getting some pressure, finally getting a big hit on him. That'll pay some dividends down the road.
Deep shot for the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon! And the stomping has commenced.
Now, a lot of times you see those receivers, as soon as they get by the DBs, you know, that hand goes straight up in the air. I got him. I got to step on him. He got to step on him. And the ball was thrown perfectly out in front. And you could see he runs underneath it, gets it, and gets the long touchdown on the go route.
And they take another look at the play, but the officials on the field were right, and the play will stand. Ready to try the point after. The kick is up and good, and put one more on the lead. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Louisville is trailing right now, but let's be honest. The program that turned out Lamar Jackson should never be counted out of any game. They're trailing by just 4 to Vanderbilt. We'll circle back if anything big happens you need to know about.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. And the coverage team able to make the tackle. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. Last time, David, it was 1-2-3 kick.
The last drive, that 3 and out, sometimes that puts your defense in a bad spot, and you got to get a drive together here so you don't wear the defense out.
I just think, David, too predictable, that last drive. They got to do something here to get this defense on their heels.
They'll snap it from the 25 here on first down. Give to the running back. Defense in the right spot. They stop him after a gain of 2 to the 28.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. He's looking to throw. And his 5th interception of the game, a miracle they haven't pulled him yet. And he's going to score on the interception. Touchdown, Ducks!
Amazing job and awareness by that defensive lineman, locating the football, catching it, and then turning around and scoring. They may want to start using this guy on offense.
They're lining up to kick it off after the pick 6, and that defense will come out feeling it. Here he comes from inside his own 5. And the returner will be brought down. TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. Well, the good news is they threw a touchdown pass last time. It was just to the wrong team, Jesse.
Well, that's an unfortunate part of the game for quarterbacks, but guess what? They do happen. So you've got to be able to turn the page here and lead this offense.
Well, I think you know this defense is going to be aggressive. They're going to jump routes. They're going to play aggressive. You got to take advantage of that. Maybe use that this time to your advantage.
Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. He's looking to throw. What a complete disaster. What a terrible decision to run that far backwards and take the safety. So after giving up the deuce on the safety, now they'll be able to kick it away without a rush from the 20. Fields to punt and tries to help improve that field position. He'll be stopped, but good work there to get the ball out to the 37. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute, David.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
And the Ducks want to move quickly. Quarterback wants to throw on second down. They'll run the screen. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down.
He didn't get a big gain. You want to call that play and probably want to get more yards, but you could tell that was super close from seriously busting loose. Nice job running the screen, getting the ball to your playmaker.
He's going up top. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's fourth down. The Ducks will bring the punt team onto the field. I wouldn't quite call it a shank, but that's not exactly going to go on the resume reel. And the punt team able to sling him to the ground. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. And the last time they had the ball, they wound up giving up a safety, Jesse.
Yeah, that was ungood the last time they had the ball. So they got to do something here offensively to get into a rhythm, running and throwing the football. Try to find that consistency, David.
And try to find something positive with this offense. Forget about the safety. Those don't happen very often. Try to get some first downs together. Get some good mojo going.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. He's looking to throw. They're bringing heat. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this guy's been beat like a drum. He's been hit, sacked a bunch of times already, and another hit right here. I'm literally looking at my offensive line and be like, dude, I need some more time. You got to protect me better than this. Give me a chance to complete some passes.
Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. Hit as he throws. And it's another interception as his assault takes it the other way. Touchdown, Oregon. The defense puts 6 on the board with a big-time interception return. What a play by this defense with the pick 6.
And how about the defender? Exactly what you're supposed to do. Breaks on the football, makes the interception. Everybody on defense, we turn to offense. Go lay some blocks so my guy can get it and take it back to the house.
Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that return. Offense set on first down. Looking for a crease. It's Slater. They keep feeding him in this running game, and the defense is having none of it. It's been that way all day. Second down here as they go back to work after the break. To the ground with the back. Works his way ahead for 3. They'll spot it at the 18.
You got to give this defense credit because they have bottled this guy up all game long. He's one of the best running backs in all of college football. Everybody was expecting him to have a big one today. Don't tell that to this defense, though. They've played with great effort. They've gotten hats to the football, and they have been able to shut him down.
Running back searching for a hole. Almost got to the sticks on third down. Able to pick up 6, but they're looking at a 4th and 1. And the Horned Frogs will call on their punt team.
See, they need more runs like that. It's been so few and far between. Defensively, they've been in position. They've been winning their one-on-one battles, getting off of blocks and rallying to the ball carrier. This defense has done a nice job slowing down the run game thus far.
And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. Boy, 3 and out last time, David. They'd like to be more productive this time around.
Yeah, in the last drive, nothing really clicked. No rhythm. Got off the field really, really quickly. They need to put something together here, Tom.
Yeah, David, bad execution on that last drive. So they got to take a collective breath and start playing like a unit on this one.
Let's see what they've got on second down. The give to the tailback. Smashes through the tackle. With that, he's got 101 yards rushing, and he has busted the century mark in this season opener. Now on first down from the 40. They'll go to the ground. Crosses the 30. He's got a lane. They finally make the stop, but the big run is plenty to move those sticks for the first down.
Big reason why his team has the lead right now late is because of his performance running the football. Well over 100 yards in this game. They knew that they were going to have to really put a lot of pressure on him. He'd have to shoulder the load, and he has delivered for his offense all game long.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to move this guy. He's in the slot this time, but I'm not going to let the defense understand where he's lining up so they can double team him. Put him in the slot, put him out wide. Either way, find this guy early and muff him.
Determined effort to pick up 6 and get it inside the red zone and down to the 16.
It's going to be important this offensive line is able to get a little bit of push. Just got to give this guy an inch, a little crease, and he can make yards for it.
He'll get that one all the way down to the 4-yard line before he stops.
And the defense down in this game, they just can't do anything to stop this offense at this point, David. Right now, they know they're going to be trying to run the football and try and ice the game, but there's nothing at this point it seems they can do.
Yeah, and it's frustrating. I got to sell out.
Touchdown, Ducks! And the beatdown has ensued.
Well, these players came together. I've been so impressed, not just by the talent, but also by their composure. Handling this kind of environment in the first game of the season, this says a lot about the leadership in that locker room.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. And the returner will be knocked down. TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. The last time we saw this offense, we had to look quick. It was a 3-and-out, Jesse.
They just had no rhythm in that last drive. So someone's going to have to step up and make a play, David, and get this thing going.
Yeah, let's find some juice. Find your guy. Find those plays that you know you can run inside out, forward, backwards. Get some first downs. Get some positive momentum.
Get set, get set.
Using his legs, it's Slater. It continues to be a long day as they are just swarming every time he gets the ball.
How about the job by this defense today? They knew what they were getting into. A really good running back. We talked to him this week. It was the main focus point of this offense, stopping the run game, stopping the run game. Boy, have they showed up and showed out and answered that challenge.
And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. The Horned Frogs will punt this one away.
On to kick it away.
Slips through the line. Not able to pop the big return, but they've got the ball back and ready to go with a fresh possession. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. Now they'll try the right side. And a pickup of 8 opens a world of opportunities on 2nd and 2.
And what you see late in games, man, those teams that can really run the football and run that clock when they got a lead, you really win a lot more football games. So I think that you look for them to be physical down the stretch of this game, try to continue to do this on the ground, continue to eat that clock.
They've got it inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. It's first down.
And you're going to hear this guy's name a lot. They're going to ride the big fella. He's such a stud. They're going to build the offense around him. This is just game 1, but you're going to get a lot of big runs from this cat.
And that's the problem with blitzing on defense. You live by the blitz, you die by the blitz. Defense dialed up the pressure, but the offense had a better play call. They ran it away from the blitz, and that's why they were able to be successful.
6-yard pickup on first down leaves them with 2nd and 4. Able to move it ahead a couple of yards. He gets it down to the 20. Ball is at the 20. They'll try to convert this 3rd and short. They'll They'll try to pick up the first through the air. Caught in the backfield. It's Flanagan. Just couldn't find any room, and he wound up throwing it in reverse. They lost yardage. They'd hoped to get him in space, create running room, and there just wasn't anything there.
Yeah, I love the third down, aggressive, in-your-face defense, not giving you any room to run down the field. Great job by the defense. They saw the throw, the quick pass, reacted to it, got him on the ground for a loss.
Perhaps emboldened by converting a fourth down earlier in the game, they'll try a second time. He didn't make it. They'll have to give up the football, and hope is still alive.
This is so Jesse Palmer. Exactly what he would do. Continue to put the foot on the accelerator, try to rub it in. Can't win by enough. Got to look good in the polls. This is your kind of offense, Palmer.
And he found plenty of running room on that one before the defense was finally able to get him down.
A huge gain. Probably would have loved to say this earlier in the game. Probably would have loved to have some of these runs and had a little bit more success running the football earlier. Now, I might think about maybe cranking the tempo and probably, if I'm going to need these runs, I'm going to need to go ahead and score on these runs, or I'm going to need to start chucking the football.
Looks as if they didn't get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game. The quarterback just lost track of the play clock, didn't get the snap off quickly enough. First down here with time for maybe one more play until the 2-minute warning. Gonna run it. It's Slater. And they try the middle of this defense, and that is not happening. They'll try to overcome that last play on 2nd and 15. Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. They'll give it to the back. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
The number one goal for this defense coming into this game was shut this running back down. And I got to be honest, there were a lot of people on the outside didn't think they could get it done, but they're proving everybody wrong. Tremendous effort. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder. This guy's one of the best in the nation. He's had zero impact in this game.
Offense chasing fourth down.
And the Horned Frogs will send out the punt unit.
Offensive punts it away.
He was hoping for a little more running room, but they're able to get him down at the 45. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. They have dropped a hush on this entire stadium, David, by controlling this game.
And there's nothing like shutting up the home crowd. You love it. Nothing like having a big lead in the fourth quarter, Palmer, and not having to stress or worry.
Yeah, really impressive just seeing how they're able to take everything from the practice field this week and apply it to game day. They've been locked in all week with the game plan, running and throwing the football, man. This has been impressive.
And he'll pick up the first down after a tough run there.
This guy's been special today. Coming into this one, they thought they had an opportunity really to get him going, running the football, and he has delivered. You've seen the speed, the vision, his ability to break tackles. Well over 100 rushing yards in this game, and that's why they have a nice lead here late.
From the 30-yard line on first down. Takes a handoff. It's Flanagan. And that's a very productive first down play and bringing up 2nd and 3.
And this is exactly where you're going to be as an offensive coordinator. Like when you've got the lead late in the football game, just run the football, eat the clock. Man, they put a good day together. They've had their way with this defense. A lot of positive things to point to. This is one of those weeks when you watch tape, it's going to be really fun to watch. It's not like when you get beat up. A lot of big plays from this offense.
Already in chip shot field goal range at the 21, but this 3rd and short, they're still thinking touchdown. He got a bunch and looked close to getting a lot more, but he's got the first down.
At the 11
How nice is it as a play caller when you've got a running back as good as this guy, right? I mean, you can just dial up conservative run calls. Nothing has to be too tricky, too fancy. You just know he's going to go make good things happen. Even when it's not blocked properly, he is still finding ways to rip off long runs. This guy now has over 150 yards rushing in the game. Doesn't look like he's slowing down, guys.
They get a big win here and start the season on a positive note.
You got to love that as the players. You come out, you have so much anticipation coming into the season, finally getting ready to play in front of a live audience. You're able to come out and execute and get this win under your belt. David, couldn't be a better way to start the year.
And for the losing team, obviously, it's a little bit different. You have something to look at now, to analyze where do I need to get a little bit better, but plenty of time still left in the season to improve and turn it around.
So that's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis saying so long. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College